I can almost guarantee that as you are watching this video, your car's tire pressure is wrong. Not just a little off, but significantly, dangerously wrong. And that simple, overlooked mistake is costing you an absolute fortune. Most people think they have this covered, that they know the basics of car care. They check their oil, they wash their car, they might even rotate their tires. But the reality is, you are probably leaving a trail of cash behind you every single time you drive, and you are driving on a hidden safety risk you are not even aware of. I have been in the automotive industry for years, and I can tell you that tire pressure is the single most neglected aspect of vehicle maintenance, and it is also one of the most expensive to ignore. We are not talking about a few cents here and there. We are not talking about skipping a coffee to save money. We are talking about a hidden drain on your wallet that can easily add up to over $800 per year. The culprit? It is not a leak, and it is not a faulty tire. It is a simple, predictable factor that changes with the seasons, and almost nobody accounts for it correctly. This is not just another car tip. This is a fundamental misunderstanding that has become the norm, a costly piece of misinformation passed down from driver to driver. And the worst part? The solution is so simple, so easy, and so cheap that you will be angry at yourself for not knowing this sooner. I will reveal the seasonal trick that the pros know, but most drivers do not, show you why the number printed on your tire's sidewall is lying to you, and give you a step-by-step, foolproof guide to stop the bleeding and start saving a serious amount of cash. We will cover the science behind why this happens, the shocking national statistics that prove this is a massive problem, and the step-by-step instructions to fix it once and for all. By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge to save hundreds of dollars a year, extend the life of your tires, and drive safer. You might be thinking, my car is new, or my TPMS light is not on, or I just had it serviced. But the data tells a very different and very expensive story. A massive study conducted by Firestone, analyzing nearly 10 million vehicles serviced at their locations across the country, found that a staggering 42% of all cars on the road have underinflated tires. That is almost half of us, driving around on soft, inefficient, and dangerous tires, completely unaware of the consequences. And if you live in a place like Washington, D.C., that number jumps to an unbelievable 72%. In California, it is 57%. In Hawaii, it is 61%. This is a true epidemic, and it is costing us billions. And let's talk about that TPMS light for a second. Many drivers think of it as a reliable guard against low tire pressure. The truth is, it is more like a last resort warning. Federal regulations only require that light to come on when a tire is 25% or more below the manufacturer's recommended pressure. If your car calls for 35 psi, the light might not trigger until you are down to 26 psi. By that point, you have been wasting fuel, destroying your tires, and compromising your safety for weeks, if not months. The TPMS light is not a tool for maintenance. It is a signal that maintenance is critically overdue. On a national scale, this collective negligence adds up to an insane $18.6 billion wasted on fuel every single year. That is because underinflated tires create more friction with the road, a phenomenon called rolling resistance. The U.S. Department of Energy has quantified this loss precisely. Their research shows that for every single PSI your tires are low, you lose 0.2% in gas mileage. Now, that might not sound like much, but the average underinflated tire is down by about 13 PSI. Do the math. That is a significant hit to your fuel economy. You are literally scrubbing thousands of miles of life off your tires without even realizing it. Even worse, that excessive heat is the leading cause of catastrophic tire blowouts on the highway, a terrifying and incredibly dangerous event. But let's talk about the safety implications that go beyond blowouts. Underinflated tires compromise your car's handling and braking. With soft tires, your steering response becomes sluggish and vague. In an emergency maneuver, that split-second delay can be the difference between avoiding an obstacle and a collision. Braking distances also increase because the tire's tread cannot maintain its optimal shape against the road. In wet conditions, it is even more dangerous. The grooves in your tire are designed to channel water away to prevent hydroplaning. When the tire is underinflated, these grooves get squeezed shut, drastically reducing their effectiveness and making you feel like you are driving on ice. So, if it is not just air slowly leaking out, why are almost half of us getting it so wrong? The secret, the one thing that separates the informed from the uninformed, lies in something we experience every single day: temperature changes. Air, like any gas, expands when it is heated and contracts when it is cooled. Inside the sealed chamber of your tire, this basic law of physics has a powerful and direct effect on your wallet. Think of the air molecules inside your tire like tiny, energetic kids in a bouncy house. In the summer heat, they are bouncing off the walls like crazy, moving faster, colliding with the tire walls more frequently, creating high pressure. In the cold, they slow down, huddle together, move less, and the pressure drops. This is called the ideal gas law, and it has been a fundamental principle of physics for centuries. But somehow, most drivers have never applied it to their tires. Here is the golden rule, the core of the seasonal trick. For every 10-degree Fahrenheit drop in the ambient temperature, your tires will naturally lose about 1 psi of pressure. This happens without a puncture, without a leak, without any fault in the tire at all. It is pure physics. And this effect is relentless. It is happening to your car right now, in your driveway. It does not matter if you have brand new tires or old ones. It does not matter if you drive a Honda Civic or a Ford F-150. This law applies to every vehicle on the road, and it has been silently draining your wallet for years. Let's walk through a full year. Imagine it is late summer. It is a hot 90 degrees, and you correctly set your tires to 35 psi. As fall arrives, the average temperature drops to 50 degrees. That 40-degree drop means your tires have lost 4 psi. They are now at 31 psi, and your TPMS light might be on. Winter hits, and it is a frigid 20 degrees. Your tires lose another 3 psi, putting them at a dangerously low 28 psi. So, you do the right thing and add air, bringing them back to 35 psi in the cold. But then spring comes. The temperature soars to 70 degrees. That 50-degree rise adds 5 psi, pushing your tires to 40 psi. Now you are overinflated, with a harsh ride and uneven wear. The seasonal trick is simply understanding this cycle and checking your pressure monthly to stay ahead of the curve. Most people only check their tires when the TPMS light comes on, which means they are already months behind. By being proactive and checking monthly, you can catch these changes before they cost you money. For those of you in places with extreme temperature swings, like the Midwest or Northeast, this effect is even more pronounced. A sudden cold snap can drop your pressure by 5 or 6 psi overnight. I have seen cases where a driver in Minnesota went to bed with perfectly inflated tires and woke up to a TPMS warning because the temperature dropped 50 degrees overnight. Conversely, for our viewers in places like Arizona or Texas, a summer heat wave can cause a dangerous spike in pressure, leading to a rock-hard ride and accelerated center wear on your tires. This is not a regional issue. It is a universal principle of physics that every car owner needs to master, regardless of where you live. Now we arrive at the single most critical and most common mistake in all of car maintenance. When people decide to check their pressure, they often look at the tire itself for the correct number. The max press rating molded into the tire's sidewall is not the recommended pressure for your vehicle. Let me repeat that. It is not the number you should be using. That is the maximum pressure the tire can safely contain before it is at risk of failing. And it has nothing to do with what your specific car needs for optimal performance and safety. The correct and only number you should use is printed on a sticker, a placard, located inside your driver's side door jamb. Sometimes it is on the door itself or on the frame. This sticker was put there by your car's manufacturer, and it specifies the precise cold inflation pressure for both your front and rear tires. This is the pressure that provides the optimal balance of safety, handling, braking performance, and fuel economy for your exact vehicle. The manufacturer spent millions of dollars engineering your car, testing it, and determining the perfect tire pressure for your specific weight distribution, suspension setup, and intended use. Trust their number, not the tire's maximum rating. So, here is how to do it right, once and for all. First, and this is non-negotiable, you must check the pressure when the tires are cold. This means the car has been parked for at least 3 hours, or driven less than a mile. Driving creates friction, which builds heat and artificially inflates the pressure by as much as 4 to 5 psi. If you fill your tires when they are hot, you will actually be underinflating them once they cool down. This is why the best time to check your tire pressure is first thing in the morning, before you have driven anywhere. Your tires have had all night to cool down and equalize to the ambient temperature. Unscrew the valve cap and put it somewhere safe, like your pocket, so you do not lose it. Use a quality pressure gauge. Those cheap pencil-style gauges can be wildly inaccurate, sometimes off by as much as 3 or 4 psi. A good digital gauge costs about $15 and is a worthwhile investment. Okay, let's talk about that big, bold $800 number from the title. I know some of you are skeptical. It sounds like an exaggeration, like clickbait. But let's break it down with a conservative, real-world scenario, using real data and real math. We'll take a common family, SUV that gets about 20 miles per gallon, is driven 15,000 miles a year, and the owner is paying $4 per gallon for gas. This is a typical American driver. Let's say this driver is average, and their tires are 10 psi low. Based on the data from the Department of Energy, this causes about a 7% drop in fuel economy. That seemingly small drop forces them to burn an extra 52 gallons of gasoline every single year. At $4 a gallon, that is $208 completely wasted on fuel. That money is gone, vanished into thin air, for no reason. That is enough to pay for a nice dinner for your family every month, or a weekend getaway, or a new set of tools. Instead, it is just burning up in your engine, but that is only half of the equation. Now, let's factor in the cost of the tires themselves. A new set of quality tires for that SUV can easily cost $1,200, and they are designed to last for 50,000 miles. But because they are constantly running underinflated, their lifespan is slashed by 30%. They will be completely worn out after just 35,000 miles. This forces the owner to buy new tires far more frequently, which translates to an extra hidden cost of $220 every single year. That is a massive, unnecessary expense that could be completely avoided with a $15 tire gauge and 5 minutes of your time each month. Just between fuel and premature wear, we are already at over $428 in annual losses for just one car. Now, let's create a second persona. Let's call him Commuter Carl. Carl drives a pickup truck, 25,000 miles a year, and his tires are a more severe 15 psi low. His fuel penalty is closer to 10%, costing him over $500 a year in wasted gas. His expensive truck tires, which cost $1,500 a set, are wearing out 40% faster. That is an extra $450 a year in tire costs. For Carl, the total loss is nearly $1,000 a year. Now, what if your household, like many, has 2 cars with the same problem? You are now easily clearing $800, $900, or even $1,000 in real, tangible annual savings. This is not a gimmick. It is simple, unavoidable math. And these are conservative estimates. If you drive more, if gas prices are higher in your area, or if your tires are even more underinflated, the losses can be significantly higher. So let's bring it all together. The lesson today is simple but powerful. First, your tire pressure is not static. It changes constantly with the seasons, and you must adjust for it. Second, the number on your door jamb is the law. The number on the tire sidewall is irrelevant for your daily inflation needs. And third, checking your pressure once a month, always when the tires are cold, is the single most effective piece of maintenance you can perform for your car's health and your wallet. These 3 rules will save you hundreds of dollars a year, every year, for as long as you own a car. This isn't just about saving money. It's about being a smarter, more informed car owner. It's about maximizing the safety of your vehicle, getting every last mile out of your expensive tires, and reducing your environmental impact. The power to save that $800 is, quite literally, in your hands, and it starts with a $5 tire gauge. I challenge you, the next time you get gas, take 2 minutes to use the air station. Make it a habit. Set a recurring reminder on your phone for the first of every month. Your wallet and your family will thank you. And honestly, once you start doing this, you'll feel the difference in how your car drives. It will handle better, brake better, and ride smoother. So, after this video ends, do me a favor. Go out to your car, open the door, find that sticker, and check your pressure. I promise you, you'll probably be shocked at what you find. Most people are at least 5 pounds per square inches low, and many are 10 or more. If you learned something valuable today, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more no-nonsense tips that put real money back in your pocket. Drop a comment below and let me know what your tire pressure was when you checked it. I'd love to hear your results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.